Hey, I'm Jeff Brassard. I'm here in the United States' first carbon neutral zone here in Virginia Highlands in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here with David Duncan. We're with creatiingthedialogue.com. We're here today to find out what is a carbon neutral zone and how it can benefit you and how it can benefit the community around you.
I'm Eric Taub. I'm founder and partner in Verus Carbon Neutral, and we do carbon auditing and offsetting for businesses.
And I'm Andrew Keenan. I also work for Verus Carbon Neutral, another partner.
So tell us a little bit about what you're doing out here today and what's going on.
What we did is the 18 businesses on the corner all had their carbon footprint measured. We helped measure the footprint. We helped identify how much carbon they're creating in a year, and then we helped offset it using a verified, certified project through the Chicago Climate Exchange of a Georgia forestry project in 14 Georgia counties. And we purchased through the Chicago Climate Exchange those offsets and offset the carbon footprint for all these stores for the next upcoming year. This is the first carbon neutral zone in the United States, and we're very excited that these businesses have all done it. We celebrating it. Here are all the businesses. We have T-shirts that show, carbon neutral zone here, and also all the businesses that did it.
So are there other companies that do these types of audits as well? I'm still learning a lot about this stuff.
There are.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are people who do audits. There are people what we focus on is carbon audits. We do also focus on offsets. But the one thing that we differentiate ourselves with is that we don't. Basically, we charge what offset costs on the exchange plus a 20% service fee. So right now it's under $2 a metric ton. What you're finding is people selling offsets at significantly higher prices and basically taking that money for themselves. What we have is 80% of the money that we collect for the offset goes to the offset project.
Can you describe a little bit about the audit process?
Sure. Audit process is fairly straightforward and can be very rapid if you have the data available. What we look at is your electricity bills, your gas bills, to figure out how many therms and how many kilowatt hours you use. You survey your employees to figure out how long their commutes are. We also look at any transportation costs for your goods or services. If you have any manufacturing costs, any business travel. It's about 8 separate things. Oh, and waste. That's an important one as well. And recycling and composting actually reduce your footprint. So all these businesses are recycling, so they're reducing their footprint. And basically we look at those things and can identify and split it out for them. A nice other thing is we tell them what the averages are for their business type and region so they can see whether they're doing better or worse than the average. What we really like about this area is that people can walk here and shop, and I think they appreciate that. And by doing this, they're saying to the neighborhood, don't get in your car and drive someplace when you can walk here and buy as well.
How much carbon was offset by doing this project?
Over 1,400 tons, actually 1,415 tons for the 18 stores here. We were very impressed with some of these people. Ran the gamut of being very sustainable, doing a lot of recycling, a lot of employees biking and commuting via carpool. Other ones were less so, but I think a really important thing for all of them was to see where their carbon footprint was coming from and how they could reduce it. We've got a few businesses here that shut off their gas, and we have other ones that shut it off in off months. We have other ones that don't. And just by discussing with them where their carbon footprint's coming from, they have the ability to adjust the way they're doing business to not only reduce costs, but also reduce their carbon footprint. We've also found that the businesses here have been very excited about it, a lot of energy around it. They all agreed to step up and pay for their offsets, and in an economic environment which is a little uncertain, they all felt comfortable putting money towards this because I think it's the right thing to do, but it also underlines the fact that people should not be driving and creating carbon. They should be walking and coming to these businesses that are local and supporting that. And I think they buy into that, they believe that, they live that, and that's why this really works. There's a lot of energy around it also with the businesses here.
All right. So we're here at Echo Bella, is that right? And so you guys spearheaded the initiative for the carbon neutral zone, so just wanted to find out a little bit about that. So if you guys would introduce yourselves and tell us what's going on here.
Well, sure. This is Lisa Curia, and I'm Angie Kingma, and we're both part owners in EcoBella, and we've been going on shopping trips for our all organic lifestyle boutique for several years now. Started in Europe, and thankfully we're able to shift to the U.S.
in the United States.
Yeah. So, and as we started hitting these green conferences, we We would encounter booths and people who would talk about carbon neutral efforts, and frankly, we would look at all the paperwork involved. We were so overwhelmed running a small business. We were just a young outfit, that it was always on the pile of things to do, but we never quite got there. And so when we learned about Carbon Neutral and how they designed the audit and how they designed the questionnaire, I thought I'd give it a try, because we'd be able to do it in Atlanta on site and not have to go, you know, to Chicago or to San Francisco. And so it was really the fact that they came to us and worked with us in the numbers and helped us do our audit that made this really possible. For us, we are a green company. We walk our talk. We have recycled paper bags, recycled tissue paper. We have milk-based paint, bamboo floors, and this was really the next step.
That's great.
Yeah, it fits in with the whole philosophy of fair trade, you know, just trying to contribute overall to the community, you know, in simple ways and in little ways, but it makes a big difference, especially when you can get a whole neighborhood of stores together. And it was a lot easier to do it as a group and to have someone show you how to do it here in the business.
How many stores are participating?
18. 18. Well, it's a combination of stores, service providers, and restaurants. So we have, you know, Nadine's, they cut hair and give wonderful hot shaves. And then we have a number of stores, and we have several restaurants here as well.
How have your customers responded to it?
Really well. You know, our customers are kind of like we were at the beginning, I think. They're a little bit confused by the concept, and it's you read more and more about it in the paper, you hear more and more about it, and the whole idea of sort of that big dirty, you know, boot print is a little imposing, and so they're asking questions, and I think a lot of people are really pleasantly surprised at how manageable it is to calculate your carbon footprint and figure out how you have choices in the offsets that you want to buy, and it is really much less tedious than any of us really expected.
So I was talking to some of the retailers in the carbon neutral zone here, and they were talking about the different options of offsets they could purchase. Can you tell me a little bit about that process?
Sure,
and those
absolutely.
options?
Absolutely. There's projects literally all over the world. In the case of these guys, they wanted something locally, so we got this forestry project right here in Georgia. But you know, there's what we call sexy offsets, you know, like solar projects, wind power, methane capture, which is, you know, a lot of people don't think that's sexy, but it's one of the most important ones, because if you take methane out of the air and actually turn it into energy, you're basically converting it to energy and CO2, which can be absorbed by trees, right? But methane itself is just a greenhouse gas. It goes up, and then that's it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So if they can capture all those, you know, and that's agriculture, it's landfills. There's actually an amazing offset project in India where 200,000 people are benefiting from methane that they're capturing from their sewer system. They didn't have a sewer system, they put one in, they captured the methane from that. They were burning wood inside their houses, and people were having problems with carbon monoxide poisoning and so forth. Now they've got these little burners, if you can imagine. It's like almost like a camp stove, you know, but they're burning methane in these things. So it's absolutely amazing, and they're taking the proceeds from the offsets, and they're actually building thermal solar and using that for hot water, which is also pretty amazing. So.
If someone wanted to learn more about this, where can they, about carbon credits, carbon offsets, where can they go?
The best place is www.tvcnp.com. That's our website, Verus Carbon Neutral.
The Verus Carbon Neutral Partnership.
Yes, but Verus Carbon Neutral, if you Google that, you'll get us too.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to seeing people and talking to businesses and individuals as well to offset their carbon footprint.
We have a